Even in this terrible, horrible condition, this wheat penny still sold for. This will make your penny rare and valuable. We're going to show you some rare pennies here. First off, these all sold in 2025 recently at auction. Now first, I will start with a 1934 wheat penny because there's a lot of misconceptions out there that just because a coin is old, it can be valuable. Now this penny did sell for $174, but I want to educate you guys on why this coin is worth $174. Now, you could have a 1934 penny like this one, or, just a 1934 penny that doesn't look like this one, and they could have totally different values. So for instance, if we look at this chart, now up in the top right, you see the red box, you'll see where it says 60, 63, 64, all the way up to 68. That is the grade. 68, obviously the best grade here on the scale. This coin grading scale goes up to 70 though. 70 is the best grade you could possibly get on any coin. Now if we go back down here to the left side, you can see that it says 1934. So we have 1934 with BN, that means brown. That's a grade designation that the coin grading companies will give your Lincoln cents. And then we also have 1934 red brown, and then we have 1934 RD, which stands for red. 1934 brown, 1934 red brown, 1934 red. All right, so red is always the best. Brown, the worst. Red, brown, better. Red, the best. All right, you want your pennies to grade at a red. Now, just because they don't grade at a red don't mean they can't be valuable, right? But we're looking at the 1934. Now, if you look over here on the right side, the 1934 red penny graded at a mint state 60 is valued around $8. All right, but if you go all the way to the end, a 1934 red penny graded at a mint state 68 is valued at $4,500. You can see $8, $24, $28, $40, $65, $300, and $4,500. Those are significant differences in value within just a few grades apart. All right, so the grade is extremely, extremely important when valuing your coins. All right, now this is a 1934 that was graded at a mint state 67 that did sell for $174. Now it is valued on the PCGS price guide at $300. So it didn't sell for quite what its value is at on the market right now. But someone got a deal on it, right? So it really depends on how many are graded at a specific grade, which is the grade population. If there's only, 5 of these that exist or 2 of these that exist at a mint state 68, that's what's going to make it super valuable. If, like tens of thousands are graded at a 68, then it's not going to be valuable. So it really depends on the grade population. Now let's quickly go through this next coin because it's pretty obvious, but I want to include it in this video because it did just sell in 2025. It's a 1955 doubled die penny. This is one of the most famous mint era coins ever in history. I think it kind of speaks for itself. You see the doubling on the lettering, you see the doubling on the date. That is a super rare coin. Even in this condition, the coin still sold for over $1,800, nearly a $2,000 coin. Now, the reason it sold for such a low amount is because it has been cleaned. Do not clean your coins. It will take away a tremendous amount of value. I mean, this could have been like a $3,000 or $5,000 penny, who knows, had it not been cleaned. So do not clean your coins. Now, also, 1922, all right? 1922, they only made wheat pennies with a D mint mark below the date. Now, if you find a 1922 wheat penny that is missing a D mint mark below the date 1922, then you're in for some money. Even in this terrible, horrible condition, this wheat penny still sold for $384. It's not even gradable because of the damage and scratches to it. It's just graded as a genuine 1922 without the D mint mark. And then also, one of the most famous, if not the most famous penny or Lincoln wheat penny of all time. This is the 1909 S mint mark. You'll see the S mint mark below the date. VDB initials. The VDB initials will be on the reverse at the bottom. If you find this coin, you are in for some money. Even in this condition, this coin still sold for $1,110. The better the condition you have this coin in, of course, the value increases dramatically. Like by the thousands. All right, so if you ever find the 1909 with the S mint mark, it is a good sign, but if you have the VDB on the reverse with the S mint mark on the front, then you're even in better shape, because that is the rarest one. They only made 484,000 of those coins. All right, now, if we look at this 1909 Lincoln wheat cent, this does not have the S mint mark, but it does have the VDB initials. This is actually a more common 1909 wheat penny. So just because you have the VDB initials doesn't mean it's going to be valuable. It's got to have that S mint mark on the front. But this one here did sell for $264 because it has a doubled die obverse. So you want to look for doubling on the front of the coin, the obverse of the Lincoln wheat cent from 1909 as well. So always look for that. Now, here's something else that can give your coins value. This is a Indian head cent. Now, you could tell it's in horrible condition. It's only graded at a 4. So that's on the low end of the coin grading scale. A 70 is the best you can get. You know, a 1's the worst. Here's it, Indian head cent at a 4. So not really, you know, worth anything at this grade because it's not a super rare key date or anything. But this one happened to sell for $124 because it has an RPD, which stands for repunched date. So here's an example of what that looks like on the 1869 Indian head cent. You can see it most noticeably there on the 6 and the 9, which were repunched south of its first impression. You can actually look for other different repunched dates, even on the 1869, for instance. There's multiple different ones. And then you can also look for these on other Indian head cent dates. You can look for repunched dates and over mint marks, repunched mint marks, double dies, all kinds of different errors, and I talk about that in my other coin videos. So just type in Couch Collectibles mint error coins and you will find an enormous amount of videos that I have done on all kinds of different errors to look for. So feel free to do that. This coin, again, $124 at auction, and these all just sold in 2025. So if you guys want to learn which other coins are rare and valuable, feel free to check out those videos. And don't forget to hit the links in the comments below, guys, for all the coin collecting supplies and deals, coin microscopes, all at that link in the comments below. And the $15 whatnot credit is down there as well. If you guys want to get $15 off a piece of silver or gold or, you know, something of value, go use that $15 coupon. It automatically takes it off as long as you've never downloaded the Whatnot app and you download it through my link in the comments below. All right, hit that link. Very simple. Sign up. You only got to download the app once. You get that $15 off anything you purchase on the app. Free silver coin giveaways every Tuesday and Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time only on the Whatnot app. No catch, guys.